Hi, my name is Patricia Hall. Today is October 8th, 2017, and I will be discussing the axial and appendicular portions of the skeleton, and we'll begin with the axial. We have our frontal, nasal, the ethmoid, the vomer, the lacrimal, the sphenoid, the zygomatic, the maxilla, the mandible, we have the parietal, occipital, the temporal, and the mandible here. Again, we have the frontal bone, the ethmoid, which is in this area, the lacrimal. The ethmoid bone goes all the way back. Then we have the lacrimal here, the nasal, the maxilla, the parietal, the temporal, the occipital, the zygomatic, and the mandible here. If we were going to remove the skull and show you here, here we'll see the frontal area, the frontal bone, the occipital bone, the parietal bones. Here you have the ethmoid bone right here in this area. Then you have the frontal bone. And, oh, excuse me, I already said the frontal bone. You have the sphenoid bone, sorry. And then also the temporal bone in this area here. Let's turn him around. Okay, then we have the atlas, the axis. We have the cervical vertebrae, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we have 12 thoracic, 5 lumbar. Then we have the sacral and the coccyx. This is the sternum. This is the body of the sternum. And the manubrium, which is the head of the sternum. Then we have 7 true ribs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which all attach themselves to the sternum, or connected to the sternum. We have 3 pair of false ribs and 2 pair of floating ribs. That completes our axial skeleton. We're going to speak about the appendicular now. We have the clavicle, the scapula, the humerus, the ulna, and the radius, which is on the thumb side. And then with the wrists and the fingers, we have, or excuse me, the hand, we have the phalanges, and we have the metacarpals. And let's see here, let's go this way. We have the scaphoid, the lunate, the triquetrum, and the pisiform is actually on top of that. We have the trapezium, the trapezoid, the capitate, and the hamate. And then on the thumb side here we have the sesamoid bones. And then we're going to go to the pelvic girdle here. And we have the ilium, the ischium, which is actually a portion of this side here, and the pelvic bone. Then we have the femur, the patella, the tibia, which is the bigger bone, and the fibula, which is the smaller one. And then we're going to go to the bones of the feet and the ankles. So we have our phalanges here and our metatarsals. So our phalanges and our metatarsals, these are the toes. And then we have the calcaneus, which is the heel portion of it. The talus, which is the big bone here. And the navicular, which is a longer bone that kind of comes in right about here. We have a cuboid. And then we have the medial, intermediate, and lateral cuneiform. So we have the medial, intermediate, and the lateral. And I believe that completes my presentation. Thank you.